right, and here is the finished product. As I stated, these ones are going to be really, really thin. So what you can do is... Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in and welcome back to another episode of Carnivore Kitchen. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make some carnivore burger buns. But before I start, you guys know the drill. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, ding ding ding. And if you don't want to watch the entire video, I will be including timestamps in the description so you can skip ahead to the step that you need. Now onto the recipe. Before we get started, what exactly are we going to need? Well, we are going to need some 4-inch Springform pans to be able to put the batter into. We are going to need a dozen eggs. We are going to need some pork rinds. I'm going to be using the UTZ pork rinds. You could use whichever ones you want. We are going to need 400 grams of the pork rinds. We are also going to need a bowl to put up the ground up pork rinds, a scale to weigh everything out, some MCT oil to spray the Springform pans. If you don't want to use MCT oil, you can use either butter or ghee. And then we will need some salt to put into the batter. And then lastly, of course, we are going to need a blender to be able to blend everything up. And now that we know everything that we need, what exactly are the steps? Well, the first step is going to be to preheat the oven. We're going to go ahead and set it to 350 degrees. And while we are waiting for that to heat up, next thing we are going to go ahead and weigh out the pork rinds. For the pork rinds, as I stated earlier, we want 400 grams of the pork rinds. So we're just going to go ahead and weigh out 400 grams of the pork rinds and then go ahead and blend those up. There we go, we have exactly 400 grams of pork rinds in the bucket. So next thing we are going to do is take the pork rinds and blend them all up, and that is going to be the base for our batter. Alright, now that the pork rinds are all ground up, next step we are going to put them in a bowl and we are going to blend up the eggs next. Now let's just go ahead, take our dozen eggs and blend them all up. And now that the eggs are all blended, next step we are going to set them aside and put them in with the pork rind mixture. Now the next step is going to be to add the Himalayan sea salt to the batter. I'm going to be adding 1 turn for every egg that I put in. Because I have a dozen eggs, I'm going to be doing a dozen turns. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And next we are going to go ahead and mix it all together. Now, one thing that is going to make this recipe a little bit different from the first burger bun recipe that I made is we are leaving out the butter. So for those of you that are trying to decrease your calories, this is going to be preferable over that one because it's almost half the amount of calories. And if also you enjoy a little bit of a thinner burger bun, then this is also going to be ideal for you because these ones come out nice and thin. Me personally, when I make my double bacon cheeseburger, I use 2 sirloin patties and 2 egg omelets in there. So the actual burger itself is pretty thick. So to add a thick burger bun on top of that would almost be impossible for you to unhinge your jaw to be able to eat it. So if you do like a lot of meat in your burger and not so much bun, then this one is going to be much better than the first burger bun recipe, as it is going to be much thinner. Now the next step is going to be to weigh out the actual batter. I'm going to be making 8 burger buns, so to make 8 burger buns, I am going to be separating it into 125 grams each. If you wanted to make less, then you would use a little bit more, but you could weigh everything out beforehand and then divide it by however many burger buns you are making to get the amount that you need in each of the Springform pans. But for the 8 that I'm going to be making, I need 125 grams. And I almost forgot, before we actually put the batter in the Springform pans, we do need to spray it with the MCT oil. That way the batter does not stick to the Springform pans. So let's just go ahead and spray all of them down. And now let's start adding the batter to the Springform pans. So there we have our first one. And now the last step is going to be to flatten it out. So we're going to go ahead and grab a spoon and just shape it so that it fits nicely into the Springform pan. And this is what it's going to look like once you go ahead and flatten it out. And now that we have all of the burger buns flattened, the last step is to put it in the oven. So we're going to go ahead and set it to bake for 45 minutes, and then in 45 minutes, we're gonna go ahead and see how these things came out. All right, and here is the finished product. As I stated, these ones are gonna be really thin. So what you can do is, if you do not prefer thinner burger buns, then you could either double up on the recipe, or you can use 1 on top and 1 on the bottom. So use 2 every time you make a burger. But if you do prefer the thinner ones, then these are going to be amazing. I'm also going to be including the other 2 burger bun recipes in a screen card at the end of the video. So if you do want to make one of those ones, go ahead and wait until the end of the video, because I will be including those recipes. But that's pretty much it for today's video. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to smash that like button so I know to make more of these recipe videos in the future. And if you're either new to the channel or haven't subscribed yet, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell, as I will be uploading new videos every single day. That's it for today's video. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you again tomorrow.